Joining us this morning with the gloves on, Houston Congressman, Democrat Gene Green. Congressman Green, welcome to Houston's Morning News. Great to have you,
Good morning, Matt. Welcome to Texas.
Thank you, sir. And Humboldt Congressman and Republican Ted Poe. Congressman Poe, welcome back to Houston's Morning News. Great to have you.
Good to talk to you, Matt. Gene?
Gentlemen, you know each other well, I'm sure. Let me start with Congressman Green. Congressman Green, it seems that no matter what Boehner puts together in the House, the Senate says they're going to strike that down. They're not going to vote on it. They're not going to accept it in its current form. The president's going to veto it. Is there anything that you can see that the House can put forward into the Senate that the Senate might actually take a look at and vote on?
Well, this process is a moving target, and Speaker Boehner has a plan that was refined yesterday, and I think we'll vote today on it. But if you look at it, and I've looked at analysis from lots of different groups, that the Reid plan and the Boehner plan have a lot in common. And so if the House passes the Boehner plan today, then there's a lot that they could do in the Senate that would say, yes, we do with that, but we don't do this. And, of course, taxes are off the table. I know that was the big debate for months. And so neither of the plan, neither Senator Reid nor Speaker Boehner plan has tax increases in it. They do have some differences in how the cuts are structured and how long the debt ceiling is. One of the things in the House would be required of the House and the Senate vote on a balanced budget amendment.
Now, Gene,
we could already do that. The House could vote on the balanced budget amendment tomorrow because Speaker Boehner's in the majority, and they could get us to vote whenever they want.
Congressman, would you vote, just yes or no, would you vote on the Boehner plan as it is right now, or will you vote?
No, I'm not going to vote for the Boehner plan as it is now.
All right.
Frankly, it was flawed up until yesterday, and because the numbers didn't add up, but now they do add up. So, but there's still problems with it.
All right, Congressman Green, thank you very much. Congressman Poe, I tell you what, I'm gonna have you hang on here 1 second. We're gonna go to break. We'll come back. I want to get your thoughts on the Boehner plan. Tell me what was wrong with it before, because he couldn't get enough Republicans to vote on it. What might be right about it in your view today, and whether or not you will vote on it. And I also want to know from both of you gentlemen what we can do just to try and get this thing moved forward. Joining us this morning, kind of dueling back and forth from both sides of the aisle, Houston Congressman and Democrat Gene Green, and Humboldt Congressman and Republican Ted Poe. We'll get back to these fine folks in just a moment.
This is your Houston Morning News.
KTRH News Time is 8:22. We got the death clock going here. And joining us, Houston Congressman Democrat Gene Green and Humboldt Congressman Republican Ted Poe. Congressman Poe, you're up. What was wrong with the Boehner plan? He couldn't get enough votes, and what might be right about it today?
The main concern that I had with the first plan was that the cuts were not really sufficient cuts at all. There have been some improvement on cuts. The best thing about the whole process so far is that there will be no tax increases. I still have concerns about two issues. One, the cuts long-term aren't very much. And second, additional cuts will be made by a select committee.
Right.
And I'm always get concerned about those select committees. I'm not involved in select committees. I think that's the job of Congress, the House, and the Senate to do that type of work, not special groups. Now, those are the two things that I'm concerned about.
Congressman, does this just kick the can down the road 6 months as well? Are we going to have to do this again in 6 months?
Well, this current plan will really take us through the next election. I think that was also a stickler with the Democrats. I don't know how far the House will get on this. I don't know that any Democrats will support this. There's some conservatives that are still concerned that it's not enough cuts.
Are you going to vote yes or no on this one?
As of right now, I'm not sure how I'm going to vote. I'm still undecided until I see and try to get the pen and paper together on all of the cuts.
Congressman Green, where's President Obama's plan on paper? I mean, I know he gave a speech, but is there anything on paper as far as you know?
Right now, there's nothing. President Obama. The House and Senate, thank goodness we have three branches of government, and the Senate has a plan, the House has a plan, and like I said, there's a lot of similarities between them. They both cut spending. I don't think Senator Reid's bill has a committee to do it. I have same concerns that Ted has. I don't really like to give my vote to a select committee. We typically don't that's just not the best way to do it. We all ought to have our votes. Our folks elect us, and I don't want to give it to someone else to make these decisions. We ought to make those decisions.
Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you each the same question, just real quick in the time that I have left here. Congressman Green, we'll start with you. You think a deal's going to get done before August 2nd?
Well, obviously, I hope so, and we prayed for it this morning. I don't want to roll the dice on what it may happen in our economy. Tuesday, plus with the interest rates for everybody's home loans, if you have a rate mortgage, and even the federal government, if we don't deal with it by next Tuesday, we will have we will pay higher interest rates on the federal debt.
Yes or no, sir? Do you think we're going to get yes or no? Do you think we're going to do it?
I think these plans are so close. I think we ought to be able to do it. The House and the Senate, and the President ought to be able to sign whatever we pass.
Congressman Poe, yes or no before August 2nd?
Yes, I think we will. The plans may bounce back and forth from the House to the Senate, back to the House, but at the end of the day, I think a plan will be reached. Agreement will be reached.
Gentlemen, I know you've been working hard, and I thank you both for your time here this morning. We look forward to the House and the Senate getting this done, getting it on the desk of the President, and moving this thing out of the off the radar screen so we can focus on more important things. Gentlemen, thank you for your time here in Houston's Morning News.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, Congressman Gene Green, Democrat, Congressman Ted Poe, a Republican.